So, as we make this big combined project, we ran into a problem with too many characters in the file names. So I'm going to use Michaela here as an example. She's done exactly what she was asked. Date, what it is, her name, and then it got converted to 2019, and I asked to have dependencies added on the end, and then it added the word folder when we did this. If we look inside, we've got footage automatically created, and then because the files, the layers were in a folder, that folder was put in there, and then you've got the name of the actual Illustrator file. Now this is the one thing I do not want you to change, because that will get After Effects confused. So leave that Illustrator file the same. The other Illustrator files should have your name in them for sure. So you can change those, but not the one that your animation is based on. So see, all these characters here made it longer than the limit. So what I'm going to do is open up an example. Rose McGee was kind enough to let me use hers. And opening the project here in her Vector Graphics project folder, I can easily find the most recent one by going to the most recent date. Let me delete this one because that's one that I'm going to create for you now. So this is the old way, the first time that we created the dependencies folder. This time, I'm going to do it differently. So first of all, here is the composition. I'm going to expand this so you can see that these are the names that are way too long. Now the composition itself for this project, we can rename it, putting the class period, space, last name, and first name. Doesn't matter how long yours is. You can put all of that in there, but this will help me keep track of who gave us what. And you double click on that to make sure that's the one that really works. You want to take care of any backgrounds. You want to make sure it's looped correctly. Watch it through there, and there we go. Now this can also be renamed to shorten things, but it may be easier if you're able to take these out. So because this name we're going to reuse it, Control-C copy when you rename that's actually not a bad idea. Let me drag these layers outside, and you can tell that they're outside of it because when I delete this layer now, it doesn't change anything. If you can't do that, simply rename the folders to this new shorter name. Now we need to create the dependencies folder that's going to have everything in a nice neat package. And we do that here with dependencies, collect files. It says it needs to be saved. You don't want to save it with that same name. So when it asks you, you can Control-V paste that new shorter name. And of course it does put you inside that folder, but we need the whole folder, so don't copy and paste these. You need to go back one to Vector Graphics project folder. Make sure that's where the file dependencies went when you saved it. And here is the folder. And you'll copy and paste that to the student shared work drop folder for me. And you've got all the class periods. You'll see I even shortened those names. Go to your class period and right click and paste. Please keep in mind you won't be able to see the files, but you should see the folder called footage, and it will be empty for you, but I will have your Illustrator file, and that way no layers are missing. So make sure that I get that today. I'm going to remove the ones that have already been turned in shortly. So if you don't see a whole bunch of them, I'm just looking for those who remain.